now. First, Congressman, it feels like we have been in this kind of some version of a constitutional crisis or showdown between the courts and this administration almost since day one. Are you heartened, at least, by the unanimity of the decision of the court saying at least siding with the district judge provisionally here?
I mean, to a certain extent, I feel like I'm in an abusive relationship. I think all Americans may feel like we're in an abusive relationship with this administration as well as with the Supreme Court that struggles to really earn the trust of American citizens, right? And at a time in which we really are wondering whether or not there is going to be this ultimate clash between an order from the Supreme Court and this administration, again, we're kind of in this space where they're basically saying in a unanimous way, which again, as you pointed out, doesn't happen very often, they are saying, you know what, we all agree. And it is very difficult to get them to all agree on anything. So we will see what this administration does. But as far as I'm concerned, if you can figure out how to get them down there, you can figure out how to get them back.
One thing that has been clear in the early polling that we have, and again, polling is inexact, but to the extent that we have a sense across different polling outlets, is that the approval rating is relatively low for the sitting president. It's now sitting in the low 40s. He's underwater, as we say. The one issue that he is doing relatively well at is on immigration. And there's a kind of line of argumentation that comes from certain quarters, which is Democrats should just keep quiet about that. And you can't convince people on this stuff, and they kind of want to see these deportations. I wonder how you feel about that in terms of making an affirmative case here about why this practice that they have put into effect is indeed wrong, and whether that's a case that you can effectively make.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can always make an effective case, Chris, but I will tell you that what this tells us, though, is that their propaganda is working, right? And that is what's so dangerous. This administration has someone that is heading up DHS that is going out there cosplaying with guns that it's clear she don't even know how to operate the guns. And, you know, she's taking these photos, you know, with people, and they're telling them, yeah, they're Venezuelan gang members, right? And so they are telling people, listen, we're getting rid of the bad people, right? And we don't have enough stories because obviously they decided they were going to get rid of due process to know whether or not you really are going and getting the bad guys. There's somebody straight out of Dallas, Texas, who literally was snatched up and sent off to this same place because he had an autism tattoo, you know, and so they don't know the real stories. They only know what they're presented with. And we know that for whatever reason, when Trump and his cronies present lies, the American people fall in love. But the reality of this administration is a whole other story.
There's also a question here about whether Congress tries to reassert any role in this. I mean, this has been, there's the Alien Enemies Act, which has been declared. Congress has basically taken this sort of posture on everything from immigration policy to the core functions of taxation, which you know, are given the power over in the Constitution quite clearly, to basically let the president do whatever he wants. And I wonder if you think, can you envision a set of circumstances in which that starts to change, or have you sort of accepted that as the baseline for Republicans going forward and they're not going to change that?
I can't find a spine anywhere in the House. So, no, I don't really see it changing. I mean, and this is knowing that this is going to harm so many people in their own districts. When we start to talk about these tariffs are not limited to any one type of people. It's not limited to Democrats, Republicans, or independents. It's not limited to urban or rural. We know for a fact, if we look back just at his last administration, what it did to the soybean farmers, right? And we ultimately ended up having to give them money to supplant the fact that they lost so much money. But this crazy tariff war that nobody asked for, where he basically is invoking emergency powers, the same thing that he did under the Alien Enemies Act, like the fact that no one is questioning his mental acuity or fitness to serve is beyond wild to me, right? Like the fact that they sat around, called Joe Biden, Sleepy Joe Biden, and as I said before, at least you could sleep at night because you didn't have to worry about your 401k disappearing overnight. You didn't have to worry about these allegations of fake invasions. You didn't have to worry about the cost of food just skyrocketing or skyrocketing cost of all of your electronics. You know, the fact that Apple was flying in planes of iPhones before the tariffs hit, like this is crazy work for no reason. So, you know, I just hope that people remember. Because seemingly they got amnesia the first time. And so you've got opportunities to vote. And I will tell you that every single special election we've had, Democrats are swinging no less than 15 points. But honestly, we should be swinging 30 and 40 points because of the level of incompetence and harm that this administration is bringing upon all of us.
Yeah, Congresswoman referring to a kind of improvised Apple iPhone Dunkirk situation where they got a bunch of planes bringing phones in, I believe, from India before the tariffs would hit. That was quite a story to read. Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, thank you very much.